Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be on this knife, and this is the Waynorth Cutlery Real Lambfoot knife. So this is a special factory order for Charlie Compania by Great Eastern Cutlery on their number 93 frame, but it doesn't say so on the tube here. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I believe that it did on the previous run. Now this version is the second run of this Lambfoot. They did a previous run that had a different jig bone and an ebony, and then there was also a smooth white bone version that was kind of a special version for rendezvous, for Charlie to get at the rendezvous. So this video isn't going to be so much about the pattern itself, about the Lambfoot, as it is about just this knife. But if you're interested in that, I do have a full article on the Lambfoot, which you can find at the link up here. So if you're interested in the Lambfoot pattern, definitely go check out that article. But this video is just going to be kind of showing this new version of the Lambfoot. Now, like I say, this is the 93 frame for Great Eastern Cutlery, and they've done other versions of the 93, but this Lambfoot version has only been for Charlie Compania on the Waynorth branding. So what it is, just real quick, is a sway back pattern with a Lambfoot blade, which means that the edge and the spine go towards each other. So it's an acute angle rather than parallel like on a sheep foot, or an obtuse angle like on a ram foot. So this is a Lambfoot blade on a sway back, a very classic Lambfoot pattern. Now this version here for 2025, these come out in 2025 or 2024? I'm forgetting. This version here, this second version, is in what they called flat cap jigging. So I'm going to show you the tube here, and you can stop the video and read through this. But basically, it's a type of jigging that was popular and is based upon the kind of pattern that was woven into flat caps and newsboy hats. So it's kind of a connection to the history of the Lambfoot, which it is an English pattern. The previous run of Lambfoots was probably, maybe, the first kind of true Lambfoot made in America. But this flat cap jigging is really nice. It is a very classic looking jigging, in my opinion. Does remind me of vintage knives. You can see it has the real Lambfoot knife etch and has this particular stovepipe, I believe it is what it's called, tang or kick, which is something that Charlie requested and is different than the Lambfoot blade on the GEC 88, which also did have a Lambfoot blade, but it had a normal kick. You can see also the Waynorth Cutlery Buffalo, New York stamp on the front, and then Oil the Joints USA on the back, which is really cool. I love to see Charlie getting to use his Waynorth branding. And this has great action. One of the things that people really liked about the original run was the action, and this has it. And I was really happy to see that, because a lot of people I was seeing said that the normal 93s from this run didn't have great action. I actually didn't end up getting any, but they were the Lambfoot, and I knew that I wanted to get this one, so I didn't get one. But they said, I saw people say that it didn't have great action. This does. Now, I haven't carried or used this one, and I'll tell you why in a second here, but great action, really nicely made. No gaps that I can tell between the covers and the bolsters, really. Maybe very slight gaps here, but not much. And so I was happy to see that, because it is something I see relatively often on GEC knives. No blade play. The tip does sit within the frame, but it is a lot higher than on my older Lambfoot, like by a lot. And it is a little off center, but not touching the liners at all. You can see the spring is nicely done. So really a beautiful knife. Now I want to show you a comparison to my older Lambfoot, and this one is a user. So I got this from Charlie at the Rendezvous in 2019. He actually, I think, had sold all of the ones that he planned to at the rendezvous and pulled this one out from under his table and sold it to me. So I was really excited about that. But the blade sits really, really deep here, as you can see, and that's without any modification to the tang. So I actually ended up putting a little bit of like a pseudo easy open, just so that you can get your nail nick down in there a little bit easier. Everybody on Blade Forums hated that I did that, but I don't regret it one bit. I have used this knife a good bit, and you can see that there is really no etch. You can't see the etch on there anymore. But the action is very similar. I will say that this one feels better. It is a little bit snappier, but I think that this one would probably wear in. I might have put oil on this one, but not much. And like I say, I haven't carried or used it, but just a comparison here. Very, very similar, just basically different covers. And then again, the blade sits a lot deeper on this one. And I wanted to show you some comparisons real quick. And the reason why I haven't used this one is because this has been a user, and then I kind of put it away because I didn't want to, wear it out or ruin it or anything. And now that I have this one, certainly this one that's modified is going to continue to be a user. But I wanted to show you some comparisons to some other jigging that GEC has done for Charlie Campagna SFOs. So this is the City Stock, really nice jigging on it. You can see it's relatively similar color, so I like that. It is a very nice classic color. And then here is the Wiki Ute camp knife, the number 35 camp knife. Nice, kind of very uniform classic jigging on it. I do prefer this type of jigging over this type, really, where there's kind of more than one direction. And speaking of that, well, I guess there's kind of more than one direction on this. This is the older Charlie Campagna SFO camp knife. This is the Texas camp knife, which is a big knife. It is also a user. I've used this one a lot, but really nice. I believe it was called cranberry jig bone on this one. So just a couple knives to kind of compare the jigging. I think this flat cap jigging is really, really nice, and I was excited to get it. Like I say, it was the only 93 I got from this run, and I think it's another great Lambfoot. I was really happy to see Charlie get another Lambfoot SFO. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below. Again, go check out that article about the Lambfoot pattern, and you can find it at knifethoughts.com. Make sure you subscribe to the email newsletter there so you don't miss any of the latest knife thoughts. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.